and welcome back to Mika Reacting Reviews. We're reacting to things on the internet, and today we're going to be reacting to a kind of a brand new type of video on this channel. We're going to be reacting to a think piece that was uploaded by a well-known YouTube channel here on YouTube. I'll put the name here on the screen, and it's a think piece about the idea of corny rappers. Well, it's like well-intentioned corny rappers, and I clicked on it because I saw my boy Dax, and I saw my boy MacDonald, and I saw my boy Hopsin and a few others on the thumbnail, and I thought, who thinks they're corny? Anyway, we're gonna get right into it, but before you do, if you like this type of videos, please like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell to get notifications when I do upload. All of that really does help with the algorithm, guys. And if you'd like to support this channel even further, you can donate. My PayPal link is in the description box below and also in the comment section. Of course, it helps, but you don't have to. You can just like, comment, subscribe. And another great way to support this channel is either join my brand new membership program or my brand new Patreon. Different levels, different tiers, different perks, or you can visit my brand new merch shop. Links down below. Also, if you're an independent artist and you'd like me to react to your song or play it in my intro, hit me up on my email list and let's do business. Other than that, sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. Here you go.
Sometimes, often through no fault of our own, something about us just doesn't gel with another person. And when this friction between people arises in the workplace, it can lead to inhospitable work environments, and more often than not, someone will have to move on. However, things get a little more complicated when your job is predicated on being in the public eye, as once you rub people the wrong way, it's incredibly hard to undo it. In hip-hop, this is the category that well-intentioned but corny rappers find themselves in. Whether they're seen as obnoxious, fraudulent, overly preachy, or simply goofy, there's no shortage of MCs who are shunned from hip-hop. Since the mid-2000s and largely aided by the internet, this phenomenon has picked up major steam. And one of the biggest examples to have sprung up in this era is Hopsin, a man whose career has been beset by gimmicks and preachiness. As in the case with most well-intentioned, corny rappers, Hopsin has, for all intents and purposes, an aspirational story, and in spite of hip-hop's general dislike for him, the former leader of Funk Volume has created a lucrative career.
I always pictured myself being wealthy and, being able to travel the world. I didn't know how. When I was around 14 years old, I just realized that it was more than likely going to be music that took me to that level. Yeah, since I was a younger kid, I kind of had an idea that this was all going to be my life because I just couldn't see myself working at McDonald's.
At what age did you become a millionaire?
27, 28.
But where this drive has made him into a self-made man, everything from his horror-inspired visuals to the way he expresses his idolization of Eminem has made it difficult for him to connect with audiences at large. But as his reaction to shady name-dropping him on Kamikaze showed, Hopsin, corny or not, is just a kid from Panorama City that's living out his dreams.
Eminem just said my name on his goddamn song on his new album. I didn't even know he knew who the I was. Goddamn! He said don't tell him about the culture, implying that I'm part of the culture. I gotta call my mom.
In many ways a disciple of Hopsin, Dax has faced a similar degree of animosity from hip-hop.
Stopping it there. Okay, so Hopsin. Notice when he said that these well-intentioned corny rappers, in his opinion and probably others' opinions, was aided by the internet, which makes me think the fact that these are well-intentioned rappers, right? These are rappers with a message, probably with a positive message or uplifting message, trying to help others. That is not welcomed in a mainstream media. That's not welcomed on mainstream platform. That's not welcomed in mainstream hip-hop, right? Because in mainstream hip-hop, yes, you have some, really well-produced music, really catchy tunes, really hard beats, but a lot of it isn't something that's gonna uplift you or inspire you or push you to do better or push you to become a better person. A lot of it is ushering in, drug use, alcohol use, sleeping around, baby mamas, toxic culture. That is welcome into the mainstream media, but when you have an actual message, a positive message, not that it had to be hokey-tokey or whatever, but a message of like, hey, I struggled and I made it here and so can you. When you have that type of message, it's not welcome into the mainstream media, so you have to use it aided by the internet or via the internet, YouTube and Spotify and SoundCloud and all these other platforms where if you are an independent artist and you want your message to get across and you don't want it to be changed or tainted by mainstream, by someone telling you who you need to be, what you need to rap about, and what's your brand, that you can do it on your own do it on your own via these platforms, right? And so I love that. And also notice that he said lucrative career, meaning you don't have to fuck with mainstream. You don't have to bend the knee. You don't have to go commercial to be successful, financially successful, if that is something that you're looking for, right? You can be independent. You can stick to your values, your principles, your standards, and what you want to put out there, and still have a lucrative career. And I love the fact that they showed Hopsin just being genuine, authentic. He's just a kid who got excited because one of his rap heroes, mentioned him in a song or something like that. Anyway, let's get on to Dax.
Often typecast as a YouTube rapper, Dax's past as a spoken word poet means that he prioritizes lyrics within an era in which the average listener doesn't really care. And although his come-up story is admirable, spending years as a night janitor but never giving up on his dreams, Dax's position in hip-hop was never made clearer than when he dissed Tory Lanez.
Commit. Apologize, bro. Apologize, bro. Or you know what's going on. Apologize, my. Apologize. I got you, bro. Apologize. Say sorry. Say sorry. All right, bet.
I've always told myself, like, I'm never gonna let social media make me make dumb decisions. The world wants me to be a big dude and be like, nah, f you. But I'll be like, you know what? I gotta go home to my family. And I'm like, all right, bro, my bad. And I encourage anybody in that situation to do the same thing. I'm gonna teach my son the same thing. Social media is convincing too many people to act tough when they don't need to. And the same people that are telling you to act tough are the same people who will be saying RIP.
Stopping it there, there was a couple of things with the Dax piece. First of all, they said that Dax prioritized lyrics and probably the message and what he's actually singing, because he was a poet, means probably most likely he's a writer, right? And the same thing with Tom MacDonald. Tom MacDonald has a lot of spoken word, and he prioritized, lyrics, maybe sacrificing beats and productions and stuff like that, but sticking onto Dax here. And he says, like, where most people don't care. So for me, just because something is popular and just because something goes trendy does not mean that it's good. It's usually just evidence and almost a reflection of where society is. And if people don't care about what's actually being sung, they don't actually prioritize the lyrics because it's too deep, too smart, too intellectual, whatever, that is not a reflection on Dax. That's a reflection on society. And to me, that's a compliment to say, like, Dax isn't dumbing his shit down just because people are too dumb to get it, right? You know what I mean? He said something that, like, Dax is not gonna allow the internet to make him go do something stupid, because again, we all know in, like, this hip-hop world, it's just beating your chest, pissing context, act tougher than you are, and it's rooted on and chanted on and encouraged by the fan base, but then all of a sudden the next day they're, RIPing their favorite artist because they're one of the people that encouraged him to be violent, to be aggressive, to, take something that really should have just been squashed and make it bigger, take it to the streets or whatever. I'm not saying it's their fault, it's still that person's actions, but he's like, no, I'm good. I'm not gonna let you guys in my life, because I like my life, I love my life. So anyway, let's get into the next artist.
Held to a different, more demeaning standard by Tory, another clear-cut example of hip-hop's dismissal of Dax comes from EXO's Nav. During an episode of Geniuses, The Cosign, the rapper-producer watched numerous videos of rising Canadian talents without a crossword until Dax's She Cheated Again came on screen, at which point he immediately felt the need to tear him apart.
Nah, I can't, nah, I just can't. It's like, come on, bro, this is corny. Ain't this the guy that said sorry to Tory Lanez or something? He looks familiar. Yeah, it is. He's crying over a girl that left him for another dude. You're an artist, bro.
Having acknowledged the view of himself as corny on tracks such as The New Rap God Part 2, Dax hasn't let it discourage him, and he continues to average over 1 million views per track. However, there is a lingering feeling that if he had it his way, he would be collaborating with some of his heroes rather than performing freestyles over their most iconic beats on YouTube.
Okay, so the Dax part wasn't finished, but yeah, still some good stuff there. So I don't know who that person was that was reacting to Dax music. Maybe he's really respected in the music industry or not. Maybe his opinions do matter. I mean, not to me, but maybe to a lot of other people. But, like, this is idea, like, he's an artist, but that is what artists do with their art. They express through their art. They talk about what they're living through, their lived experience, what's currently going on in their lives or in society through their art. But what we're used to is a lot of rappers faking the funk, like pretending that they're hard, pretending that they're gangsters, pretending that they're jewelry and their name brands and their cars are all real, most of them times they're not. You know what I mean? But when someone is being authentic and genuine, just saying like, I'm just gonna rap about what I'm going through, and right now I'm going through this. This girl hurt me and I'm going through it. I don't think it's crying. I think it's a man being vulnerable, and of course, again, in the rap game, that is like, you can't do that. Can't talk about your feelings. You can't talk about your mental health. Whatever, right? And also, he again pointed out that Dax doesn't give a fuck. He's still pushing through who he is, and he's averaging over multiple millions per track. So he is still successful, which tells the other independent artists out there that, again, you can still be successful even if there's other people out there that don't fuck with you, right? Especially in the mainstream. But I do agree that if Dax had it his way, he would be rapping with some of his top artists, his top rap icons and his idols and stuff like that, because I do feel like what we've heard through Dax's music, Dax either he raps about his, mental health or, substance abuse and the struggle and how he gets through it and his, what is thinking through that, or he raps it, or he beats his chest, he talks his shit, he pumps himself up, you know what I mean? And I kind of feel like Dax feels like he hasn't garnered the respect that he feels like he should be having from the mainstream rap industry. Unlike Tom MacDonald, we're going to go back to Dax, but unlike Tom MacDonald has very much made it his brand when it comes to being independent and staying independent for life. He's talked shit about the music industry. He's made videos of him ripping up contracts and basically said, I will never sign to a label, right? I don't know if I've ever heard Dax say that. So in my mind, whether you agree or not, I don't think Dax is against the signing a label. If he was told, hey, you can rap with Eminem, you can be on stage with Jay-Z, you can be with I don't know if Jay-Z is his, someone he admires or not, but you can be on stage with all the rap idols that you admire and you look up to and that inspired you if you just signed this contract. I don't know if Dax would say no to that. I could be wrong. Maybe he would say no to that, but I never think I've heard him really talk about wanting to always stay independent. He raps a lot about feeling like he's kind of being left out and no one's giving him his roses or whatever. But anyway, let's get to the next one.
Though he's been immensely successful in a commercial sense, Logic has found himself subject to endless scrutiny and mockery from hip-hop for much of his career. Trolled for every personal revelation that he'd ever dared to put on wax, Logic has been open about the fact that when it came time to hang it up in 2020, the internet played a major role in his decision-making.
I mean, it happens all the time. It's like I go and I'll be like, I love you guys, and somebody's like, how can you just say this and nothing happens to you? Like, that's crazy to me, dog. And they'll on me, and it's gonna happen. They're gonna call my baby ugly, and they've already on my wife and made accounts and called her ugly. This is why I'm leaving.
Throughout his career, Logic has evoked strong emotions from people without actively trying to. From getting put on blast by Joe Budden as one of the worst MCs to ever grab a mic, to getting lit up by Charlemagne at every opportunity, Bobby Tarantino has found himself in a position where, when he was an active rapper at least, the status quo and gatekeepers of the game would minimize anything good that he brought to the world, and instead focusing on petty issues because they saw him as an easy target.
And I respect Charlemagne. When he basically kind of called me homophobic without even watching an interview, and I was like, I didn't even say that, and then for him to just out his mouth be like, yo, who your sister, like, that f***ed me up. And I actually held on to that for like 6 years, man. Mm-hmm. And I was like, this isn't healthy, and I'm talking to my therapist about it. Some of the be saying is wild, like asking me what I'm doing for the Black Lives Matter movement as a black man who looks white.
Where other rappers have raged against their ill treatment, it feels as though, in Logic's case, it's as if his good intentions have either been taken advantage of or actively held against him. But where Logic's commercial success never interfered with the paths of icons in the game, one well-intentioned corny rapper that found himself on the wrong side of this tightrope.
Stopping it there. So I don't actually know much about Logic. I've heard of his name before, so I don't have that much to say. But just to let you guys know, I did edit this video down. I think I edited one artist out of this video because I didn't know anything about this person. I never heard of that person. If you want to see the full video, let me know and I'll give you let me know in the comment section and I'll give you the link to the full video. But I kept Logic in here because I have heard of him at least. But to me, it feels like he was really sensitive, which is not a horrible thing, but I do think when you go into any industry, and it feels like being that Logic was more commercial, he even has more pressure and more eyes on him. you have to have a really freaking thick skin. However, it is still something to say that when someone's mature enough to know when it's time to step back and say, this is not good for my mental health. I've had enough success. He's probably financially secure for life. I'm gonna step back because this is not good for my mental health. Unlike some people who like stay on the internet and get shit on and just cry about it and yell about it instead of just being like, let me remove myself because this is not healthy for me. It does seem like he did respond to some of it, and a lot of people do that. They like pick on the person that they know they're gonna get a reaction out of. You just kind of have to like either ignore it or put it in the music or put it in the art or whatever and not let it bother you. So if you guys would like me to react to any Logic, let me know in the comment section. I'll react to his music if he had some good music that had a good message. And you know how I like to react to stuff with a message. I'm going to have a conversation. But good luck to him. It's so sad that he got like kind of ran out of the industry, but also probably did what was best for him and his family. But anyway, let's continue.
Side of this tightrope is Macklemore. Although a Caucasian, Seattle-based rapper seems like an unlikely megastar in hip-hop, there was a brief moment where Macklemore, along with producer Ryan Lewis, were residing at the top of the game. Courtesy of a borderline novelty hit, Thrift Shop, he soon commanded a global audience. And by the time he doubled down with the anthemic Can't Hold Us and LGBTQ+ equality rallying cry Same Love, he seemed unstoppable. A friend of the likes of Schoolboy Q of TDE, Macklemore seemed like a good fit for mainstream hip-hop. However, a fateful trip to the 2014 Grammys would forever change the course of his career. After he and Ryan Lewis's The Heist scooped up Rap Album of the Year over Kendrick Lamar's Good Kid, Mad City, he felt the need to text K-Dot and let him know that he got robbed. Within a culture as competitive as hip-hop, his gesture was misinterpreted as tokenistic. And after he shared his text to K-Dot with the world, he left K-Dot feeling as though the apology wasn't genuine.
Yeah, I think it was uncalled for, to be 100 with you. When he sent it to me, I was like, okay. You know, I could see him feeling that type of way because he a good dude. But I think for confirmation from the world, you know, he probably felt like he had to put it out there, which he didn't need to do.
From there on, the audience's tolerance of Macklemore, no matter what his motivations were, has never been the same. Clowned for everything from his white privilege tracks to his Trump's Over freestyle, it seems that the more Macklemore tries to move past the Kendrick incident, the more the world pushes against him. And as a result, every action that he's performed since has been seen as some attempt at reconciliation with hip-hop. But while his fans are still there for him, it's no surprise that his handling of the Grammy situation still lingers in his mind to this day.
And I'm struggling with my own, like, damn, I'm benefiting from the system that I've been calling out since I was 20 years old. People want to say like, oh, it was guilt. He just feels guilty about being white. It's like, that's so surface level. Was there air of that? Absolutely. Was that the reason? Absolutely not.
Left without the support of a culture as a whole, what each of these rappers share is that the more earnest their attempts are at expression across both rhymes and interviews are, the less receptive fans and their fellow artists become to what they have to offer. But for all of them, the solution is clear. If they stopped pursuing the love from hip-hop as a whole, not only would they come across as less corny, but they would also be more likely to receive it.
Alright, that's it, guys. So I don't agree with his last little monologue bit. Well, I don't agree with half of it. This whole like, the more you pursue your message, I don't know, your brand or as an artist, the less that the fans are going to be receptive. I don't feel like that's true because I know like Dax and Tom MacDonald and Hopsin has a tight fan base, and they're fan base for a reason because they like the brand that they're creating. I think when it comes off as disingenuous or try hard or pandering is when you start to lose your audience, right? And I feel a little bit like that with Macklemore. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I love Thrift Shop. What? I love Thrift Shop and I loved a few of his other songs, but I did feel like towards the end that he started pandering. I feel like he panders to this day. It's no surprise he's from Seattle, so it is no surprise that he battles with the white knight savior, white guilt complex, and that bit him in his ass because as much as like the social justice warriors try to get white people to think that this is what we want, when you do this to black people, it sounds condescending. It comes off as condescending. It's gross. We don't like it. Stop. Right? guy didn't need Macklemore to come white knight for him, right? And then to put it out in public, it does feel like you're pandering. Like, look, I'm a good guy. I'm a good guy. It's stupid. You should have just tuck your fucking award home and went home and put it in your songs. But again, he still has his fan base and he still makes good music. I have listened to Macklemore now and again since he's kind of dropped out of the mainstream. But I do feel like he panders. I feel like he suffers from that. And I do agree that the more you try to like get respect from the hip hop industry, like he said, the gatekeepers, the less they're going to respect you because it feels beta. Like, hey, stand in your shit, and if we respect you, we respect you, and if we don't, you don't. We don't, but don't keep trying to clamor at us because we're just gonna shit on you more. So I noticed they didn't play Tom MacDonald, even though I believe Tom MacDonald was like right in the thumbnail. I'll show you guys so you don't think that I'm lying. He's right in the thumbnail, and they didn't even talk about him, but I'm assuming that because he's on the thumbnail that they are suggesting that people think Tom MacDonald is corny, and Tom MacDonald has been called corny. He's been called a corny, he's been called a grifter, he's been called someone who's just on a trend, he's been called someone who has a gimmick, all those things. I love Tom MacDonald. I love the messaging that Tom MacDonald has. I support Tom MacDonald. I hope he has a long career. I hope his career evolves and just gets better and better and better. But I am not going to sit there and lie and say, yes, some of Tom MacDonald's beats are corny and some of his hooks are corny and some of his songs are not something that I would dance to or blast in my car. It's something that I would listen to, like ingest, digest, think about, like contemplate, like meditate on, but it's not something I'm going to be dancing to, and I'll probably listen to it like once or twice, or I listen to it and I'll like have my friends listen to it so they can get the message out of it. But not all his songs are like that. Some of his songs go in hard, and from what I heard from people who bought his albums, a lot of his hardest songs are not the ones that he makes videos on. A lot of his hardest songs just stay on the track, and I don't know if it's because like they don't have this strong sort of culture war messaging to them, or Tom MacDonald wants something that's a bit more commercial, something that's more of an anthem or whatever. But like he has proven that he can go in hard. But this also talking about the culture, what's going on currently, is part of his brand, is a part of his MO. But there's a lot of people, a lot of like real deep hip hop heads that do not like Tom MacDonald simply because of his hooks and his beats. But anyway, guys, I'm still gonna put Tom MacDonald on my thumbnail to use him as clickbait, since they use him as clickbait. You can just add me in the comment section below. What do you think? Do you think any of these rappers are corny, well-intentioned, corny rappers? And if they are, do you think it matters? Because is it really affecting their career? I think it depends on what they personally see as success. I see all of them as very successful, but they may have their own level of what they think success is. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Let me know if you like this type of videos. I like this channel. Like, they have a lot of like thought pieces when it comes to the music industry on this channel, and I would like to react to more of their videos. So let me know if you made it this far. Let me know if you like this type of video in the comment section below. Please like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell to get the notifications when I do upload. All of that really does help with the algorithm, guys. And if you'd like to support this channel even further, you can donate. My PayPal link is in the description box below and also in the comment section. Of course it helps, but you don't have to. You can just like, comment, and subscribe. Another great way to support this channel is either join my brand new membership program, different levels, different tiers, different perks, or you can visit my brand new merch shop. Links down below. Also, I have a second travel vlog channel. If I travel as a lifestyle or I live abroad, if you'd like to know where I am in the world, you can go to the description box below and also in the comment section. Hit the link. Go subscribe to my travel vlog channel and or follow me on my travel Instagram. My stories is usually what's most up to date. And you guys have an amazing day. Bye.